9-5, the Pythagorean Theorem. In this lesson, we're going to look at the lengths of the sides of the three sides of a triangle. This only works, the Pythagorean Theorem, only works if you have a right triangle. It does not work for other triangles. It only works for right triangles. It's a theorem. It's actually a mathematical equation, and it says the square of the lengths of each of these sides, A and B, is equal to the square of the third side. Now, sides A and B have very specific names. We call them legs. And they're legs because they intersect to form the right angle. Very important to remember these things. And finally, side C. Side C is called the hypotenuse. It is the side of the triangle that does not touch the right angle. The legs, sides A and B, intersect to form the right angle. And side C, the hypotenuse, does not touch the right angle. So the squares of the legs added together is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. For this lesson, we're simply going to substitute information and see that it works. On this board, we have a right triangle. Notice the little box in the upper left-hand corner of the triangle. It tells us it's a right triangle. We know that one of the legs is 10 units, another leg is 24 units, and the hypotenuse is C units. So we're going to be looking for that piece of information. So we're going to substitute in our numbers into the Pythagorean theorem. 10 squared plus 24 squared equals C squared. 10 squared is 100. 24 squared is 576. And C squared is still going to be C squared. 100 plus 576 is 676 equals C squared. In order to figure out what C is, we have to take the square root of both sides of this equation. And when we do that, on the right-hand side, the square root of C squared is just C, and the square root of 676 is 26 units. So the third side, the hypotenuse, is 26 units long. On this board, on the left-hand side, we're going to be given information, but we're not given a picture of the triangle. We're just told that A is the length of A is missing. We're told that B is 35 units and C is 37 units. So we will substitute into our Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We don't know A, so we'll leave it as A squared. B is going to be 35 squared, and C is going to be 37 squared. Simplifying these squareds, A squared plus 1,225 units equals 1,369 units. We'll subtract the 1,225 from both sides. They cancel each other out, and we have A squared equals 144. To find out what A is, we need to take the square root of both sides. The square root of A squared is going to leave us with A, and the square root of 144 is 12 units. So the leg, side A, is 12 units long. On the right-hand side, we are going to look at a different type of problem. We were given A, B, and C, and we have to prove that this is a right triangle. This is like checking your work with an equation. We have the Pythagorean theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We're going to substitute into the equation 16 squared plus 30 squared equals 34 squared. And the way I need you to think about this today is, I hope this math equals this math. So it's just like checking an equation. I hope the math on the left is equal to the math on the right. So we are going to simplify things down, and we'll do on the left first. We get 1,156, which is 34 squared. 16 squared is going to be 256, and 30 squared is going to be 900. When we add 900 and 256, we get 1,156. And that does equal 1,156. So this is a right triangle, just like when you checked your work. Your homework is going to be on page 463, problems 10 through 32, the evens.